Hi, I am Vishwanathan Ramasamy. So, I'm working as a software engineer and I have around 14 years of experience. I was doing C++ programming. I have gone through several YouTube channels. I also thought of sharing my knowledge to others so that it will be useful for the processor to clear the retriever and even the experienced people who wants to aspire their job in C++ application. Okay. So you can follow me on LinkedIn as well as this is my mail ID. So if you have any doubt, you can send a mail or you can post your comments. If, if you have any doubts or clarification required or any particular topic that I need to cover, you can post your in the comment section. So I will try to put a separate video on the top session on the required topic. Okay. Here I have divided my class into two sessions. One is the some idea about what we are going to cover today, and the next session will be on a practical session where I will run some program and see what are the problems, how can we solve it. Okay. So today this I took this video on 13/8/2022. Okay. Here the first the, the several intervals will ask what is the difference between a shallow copy and deep copy. Okay. As the name indicates, copy is to copy some content from the destination to the source. What is the difference then between the shallow copy and deep copy? In shallow copy, this, there is no difference between the shallow copy and deep copy unless the class member variable is a pointer. Okay, if you look at assume this is an object. Okay, I have a member variable A. Okay, I have another member variable B. Okay, and I have another member variable C. Okay, this is an object OPJ1, and I have another object for the same class where OPJ2. Okay, OPJ2. So since it is an object of both the OPJ1 and OPJ2 are from the object of the same class, so this will also contain a class member variable A, B, C. Okay. Now what happens in shallow copy? Say in shallow copy uses a default copy constructor and assignment operator. Okay. Uh, Here what happens? Say this both there is a class OPJ1 and OPJ2 are the object of sample class. Okay, object of sample class. So if I create while creating a sample OPJ1, and here I see I pass some number 1 2 3 1 2 3 2, 1 for A, 2 for B, and 3 for C. And then I'm trying to create a object 2. Okay, I'm trying to create object 2 where I'm calling OPJ1. OPJ1 I'm trying to call the default constructor. Okay, you remember the default construct the default ShallowCopy uses a default copy constructor and assignment operator. default copy constructor or default assignment operator. Okay, here obj2 I'm passing a obj1 as an argument. So what it is calling if there is a no, if you are not overloaded copy constructor inside this sample, then the default argument of 1, 2, 3, right? Here a equal to 1, b equal to 2 and c equal to 3. The same value will be copied to 1, 2, 3. Okay, then it is okay, right? Copying each these two objects are having their own number variable and the values are getting copied. Then it is fine. Now assume this is fine in the case of ShallowCopy unless we have a pointer. Okay. Now assume this C is a pointer member variable. Okay. Here instead of 3, okay, I am going to pass okay, assume this I am passing a 3. Okay, let it be 3. And in some setter function, okay, the setter function, I am going to allocate the memory for the C. I am going to allocate a memory for the C, and inside that memory I have allocated 3. Now this is okay for sample object 1. It is okay. Where what I am doing, I am creating an object and I am trying to set the member variable to 1, 2, 3. Here in some wait, there's a mistake. Hold on. Okay. Let it be here I call the default constructor. Then after this one, what I am doing, I am trying to call a setter function set. Okay, inside the set I am calling 1, 2, 3. Okay, then what happens? The setter I will be assigning a to 1, b to 2, and this is just remember the topic. We will have a clear picture on while programming 3. Okay, here A, B, C and C we are allocating a memory and we are trying to assign some number to it. Then here in the case of ShallowCopy, what happens? I am trying to copy whatever the content in A, whatever the content of the object 1 to object 2. So what happens here also we will assign it to 1 and 2 and the C, right? We are not allocating a new memory. Okay, what happens here? We are referring to the memory which is already the C member, right? This C pointer member is referring to the some memory addresses, say 1000. Here this also will the object 2 C member variable will also have the address as 1000. Okay. Now what are the problems will happen when we have this kind of reference where in the ShallowCopy this ShallowCopy is okay until we don't have any member variable pointing to a heap memory. Okay, when we have some member variable which is pointing to a heap memory, then what happens? We will face a dangling pointer issue and then runtime error. When I modify some values of the object 1 C member variable, the same value will be reflected in object 2 C member variable also, because both are referring to the same memory. Okay, these are the problems we will face. So what is the here when what is dangling pointer? Okay, when we will be knowing when when the object goes out of scope, the destructor of the object will be called. Okay, in the destructor we will be trying to delete the memory allocated for CM. Okay, so we will call it deleter for this CM. So the memory will be freed up. But when object 2 is also going out of scope of here, the already freed memory, we will try to free it again. So we'll have a we will face the double free for the same memory. Okay. How this problem is resolved in heap memory and in deep copy. In deep copy, what we will do, we will overload the copy constructor and the assignment operator. Okay. By overloading, what we are trying to achieve here, while overloading, we will create one more memory, separate memory block to hold this three. Okay. Points to remember here is in shallow copy is no problem when there is no pointer. When there is a pointer, then if you do the shallow copy, then both the pointers will refer to the same memory, and when it goes out of scope, when the object goes out of scope, we will have a dangling pointer issue and a double free issue. And when we change the object pointer member variable content in one object, the same thing will be reflected in other object also. How this problem is resolved in deep copy, we will create a separate memory for this pointer and we will copy the content of the object one. Okay, this is a difference between the shallow copy and deep copy. Now we will go through the sample program to have a better idea. Here you see I have created a shallow copy. You can download this source code from this GitHub. So whatever the program I am explaining, right? So you need not type it. You can download it from here and run it. Okay, this is only for reference, and I wrote it on my own. Okay, here you see a shallow copy. Here I have two member variables. Okay, ix and iy, and then the pointer which is member pointer. Okay, in a default constructor, but I tried to initialize it to 0 and a pointer to a null pointer. Okay, the good idea is whenever we have a member variable, try to initialize each member variable inside the constructor. Okay, and then we'll have a default. No, we have a destructor. So when this constructor will be called so when you try to create an object, you need not invoke the constructor. By default, when the object is created, the constructor will be called and this is destructor. Okay, here you see the difference between the constructor and destructor is a tilde. Okay, we need not call a destructor. So when the object goes out of scope, and the destructor will be called automatically. Okay, here I have commanded this line because the double free issue you will be seeing when we run this program. Okay, how to solve the double free issue? We will have a separate program and we will go through it. Okay, we will see only what is the shallow copy. Okay, okay. I have a setter function where I am getting the value from the main function and I am assigning it. Okay, here if the pointer is not null, I will be allocating memory from the heap. This memory will be allocated only one time. So I am trying to since I am trying to allocate it memory only if it is null pointer, and this value whatever I passed it from the main function, right? I am trying to assign it to that pointer. Okay. And if it is already the memory is created, and then I am trying to reuse that memory where I am going to modify that value. Okay, here this is a setter function where I will be getting a value from the main program, and I am trying to assign that value to this member variable. In for the pointer, what I am doing, I am trying to check if it is a null pointer. I will be assigning memory and then assign the value to that memory. If the memory is already there, and I will be changing only the content. Okay, here I getter function where I will be printing the content of the member variable and the address of that pointer and the content of the pointer. Okay, this is a uh, class of ShallowCopy. Okay, in ShallowCopy, what we have done, we have created a constructor, destructor, and we are not overloaded the assignment operator in the copy constructor. In the setter function, we are trying to allocate a memory and pass the value to that memory. If the memory is already there, it will be changing only the content. Okay, here you see I allocated an object. I created an object, so the default constructor will be called. Okay, this is a default constructor. And then inside the constructor, why I overloaded this constructor, because I want to initialize this member variable. Okay, I want to initialize, so I have overloaded that one. And then inside the setter data, I will be passing 10, 20, 30. So this value will be 10, 20, 30. And here I have passed 10, 20, and the first time it will be a null pointer, so the memory will be allocated and 30 will be assigned to that pointer. Okay, so 30 is assigned, and then if I do a get data, okay, oh no, wait, this is assigned. Okay, now what happens, in obj I am creating another object for the same class, and I am using a default copy constructor. Okay, so the content of the object will be copied to the obj2. Okay, since it is a shallow copy, both the pointers of IPTR member pointer of obj2 will refers to the same memory of obj1. Okay, so if you print the content of obj1 and obj2, it should be the same. See that content address and address of both are same. Okay, and the content is also same. Remember, even though this number is 10 20 10 20, okay, you see here the content will be copied. If it is using a default copy constructor, and so the content will be copied. For this one pointer, the content of a previous object, which is obj1, content will be copied. So this pointer will be referring to the same memory address which is stored in obj1. Okay, so only the OPGA2 is also referring to the same address. Now here what I am doing, this one is for the default copy constructor. Here I am calling a default assignment operator, and this is also default copy constructor. Okay, here this is also default copy constructor. So the obj3 content, obj2 content, and obj1 content will be always be the same. You see, obj1, obj2, obj3 are the default is making use of default copy constructor. Obj2, obj3 are copy constructors, default copy constructors, so the values are remains the same. Okay, now here for the shallow copy, for the obj4, I am calling a default assignment operator. Okay, I have not overloaded the default copy constructor and default assignment operator here. So this one, for this statement, we are calling a default assignment operator. So the same content will be copied to obj4 also. Okay, obj4 also the same content is copied. Now here In the case of OPJ5, what happens? I'm copying. I'm calling a default assignment operator. Okay, I copied the default assignment operator, and then what I am doing, I'm changing the content to 11, 21, 31. Okay, of OPJ5. So what happens? The content of OPJ5 should be changed to 11, 21, 31. So what we are expecting? The OPJ4 also will be changed. No, the OPJ4, the IX, IY numbers are will be a is referring to the value. Okay, but the I pointer is referring to the address. So what happens? The OPJ5 X and Y will be referring to 11 and 21. And for OPJ4 it will be referring to 10, 20. Okay, and then but if you since OPJ4, 3, 2, 1 are referring to the same memory, the content of a pointer for the 5 and 4 should be 31. You see here 31. Okay, since if I change it here, right, so all for OPJ1, OPJ2, OPJ3, OPJ4 is referring to the same memory. So changing it in one place would reflect in all other object also. Okay, this is the sample program for ShallowCopy. So what we have done here, we have created a member variable, member pointer. The ShallowCopy will create a problem when there is a member pointer that is referring to a keep memory or keep memory or static memory. Why in the keep memory you will be facing a okay, whether it is a keep memory or any other array, the the problem is the other object the value is changed, it will be reflected in other. If the value is changed in one object, it will reflect in other object also. If it is a heap memory, then we will face a double free issue. Okay, this is an example for ShallowCopy. Now we will go through how it is handled in DeepCopy. Okay, in DeepCopy, you see here the DeepCopy the same X Y and the pointer. Okay, oh you see I should have initialized this memory to the default values, right? It is a good practice to initialize it. And some compilers, right? Some compilers will expect you to initialize the member variable in the same order on how it is declared. If it is an ix, iy and pointer, it should be in ix, iy and pointer. Okay. By default, this will be 0, 0 null pointer. So it is also good to initialize it. Okay, I have initialized it here, and in the deep destructor, I have freed the allocated memory. Okay, since it is only I am going to allocate only a 4-byte, not an array, so I have not put an array index square bracket here, and this is going to hold only one number. Okay. In the deep copy here, we should be remember in the case of deep copy, we should overload the copy constructor and assignment operator. This is the main difference between the ShallowCopy and DeepCopy. How the problem is avoided in the DeepCopy, we will be overloading a copy constructor and an assignment operator. Okay, you see this is the syntax for the copy constructor. We will have a class name, ampersand, and the object. Argument object. Here what we are doing what I am doing is I will be assigning the value from this object and I will be assigning it to the current object. Okay, the same thing. In the case of pointer, right, I will be allocating a new memory for this pointer, and I will get that value from the previous pointer, and I will be storing it in the newly allocated memory. Okay, what I have did, what I have did in this statement, what I here, I will be getting the value from this object and assign it to the current member variable. And for the pointer, I will be allocating a new memory, and I will be reading the I will be reading the value from the object member pointer, and then I will be assigning it to the new memory which I have created for the current object. The same thing for a deep copy. Okay, here we will always put a constant here. This is also a good practice. If we are not going to change the argument object, and here you see, uh, it is not mandatory to return uh, the object, but why we need it to do this way, we will cover it in a separate channel. Okay, separate session. Okay, here constant, the same thing. How it is passed for the copy constructor, it should be passed by reference. Okay, why we need to pass it by reference? Those things we will cover it in a separate video. We will remember only the difference between the shallow copy and deep copy now. Here in the deep copy, we are overloading an assignment operator. Why we are what it mean by overloading? Here we are asking the assignment operator A. See, in the case of uh, assigning some value to A equal to B. Here what we are trying to do, we are assigning the whatever the values in B variable, we are assigning it to A. Similarly, this is for integer variable. Even if it is an object, obj1, okay, obj1. If I assign it to obj2, what I am trying to do, I am trying to uh, copy the content from obj2 to obj1. Okay, the same thing. Here, this is the job of default. This is the job of default assignment operator. But here, what I'm trying to do, I'm asking the assignment operator not to do the default operation. I want some my own operation, so I have overloaded this. Similarly, for a copy constructor, I'm asking. I don't want the default operation done by the default copy constructor. I'm asking the compiler to do what I want. So I want to change some operation. If you're not calling a deep copy, we are not overloading deep copy, then it means that uh, it will become a shallow copy. So I want to allocate a memory and assign the value to it. So I have overloaded the deep copy. Similarly, for a assignment operator, I am overloading the assignment operator because I want each object to have their own each object member to have their own memory. I don't want the object member to share the memory of other object member. So I have created a new memory, and I am trying to allocate a point value from the previous object member to this allocated new memory. Okay. Here why we need this not equal to ampersand of this is this pointer. So if you use this pointer, it is referring to address. So I am taking the current object, past object, I am checking the object address is not equal to the current object. Okay, this is I am if assume the current object and the past object, in this case even and can pass one to it. So the current object content and this object obj1 equal to obj1. Why we need to the assignment operator? Because I don't need assignment operator in this case, right? Because both are the same object. I'm avoiding that situation. So If the passed argument object address is same as the current object address, then don't do this operation. Okay, then it is not necessary that I should return the object, but assume why when what scenario we may need this return the object by reference. Um, we may need assume this is 2, okay, and I can have a obj3 also, okay. In this case, I will assign obj3 to obj2 and obj2 to obj1. In that scenarios, right, I will be needing I need to return a reference from the assignment operator. Okay, these topics I will cover it in a separate session. But now try to remember we have overloaded the deep copy and the assignment operator in order to allocate a new memory and copy that content from the previous object to the new memory. Yeah. Okay. Here the same as set data, I will be I have called is set data. Okay, this is setter function ax ay, and then I'm trying to assign the same allocating a new memory and assigning to it. Okay. In the get data, I'm trying to the address of no, I'm trying to return the number variable values and the address of the pointer and the content of the pointer. Okay, I think here there is a mistake. Even you can have this way check also, but it will not. Okay, this will be the same as content will be same as the ShallowCopy. The extra thing is only this one. It should be this one only. Okay, if the memory is already there, I will be trying to assign it here. Okay. Here what I have done, I have created an object. I am trying to some value to that number variable. So it will come here and it will be setting to 10, 20 and the pointer is null. So it will allocate a new memory and it will assign that value to the new memory. Okay. So 30 will be copied to here. Okay. 30 will be copied to this pointer. And then in the second scenario, obj2 to obj1, I am trying to pass, I want the content of obj1 to be copied to obj2. So what happens? The default copy constructor will be called. So it will the content will be copied and the new memory will be allocated and the same content from the obj1 will be copied to the new memory. So if I print the content of obj1 and obj2, the content should remain the same, but the address should be the different. You see, the address is different. Okay, the address is different. Similarly, for this scenario also, obj2 to obj3, it should be the same because we are calling a copy constructor. The content should be the same, but the address should be the different. Okay. And in the case of assignment operator, I'm trying to copy the content from obj3 to obj4. The content should remain the same and the address should be the same. Address should be the different. Okay, address should be the different. obj4 and obj5. Here I have reached obj4 and obj5. Here you see, I told you right why we need to return a reference. Why we need to return a reference here. The assignment operator scenario. 4 to 6 and then to 5 I'm copying now. 4, 6, 5. Okay. Here the content address will be the different, but the content will remain the same. Okay. Then what we will see here, here we will see some more topic. Here we will try to uh, run some more thing. We will try to change the content and see. That part is missing. So we will try to change the content. Somehow this check was missing. Okay, what here this I added it new, right? So I will copy 7 and then 7, 7. Here I have passed down what I am trying to do. Um, I have called assignment operator, so I copied the content to here, and then the set data I am calling. So in set data, what will happen? So the memory is already there. If it is there, then it will try to change only the content. Okay, so it will change the content. Four and then 7. Correct, right? So I'm creating an object 7 and I'm copying it, the content and all the member values from the obj4 to here. Here I created a new member. So I'm trying to change the content in the obj7 where 11, 21, 31. Since the memory is already there, it will not create a new memory. Maybe I can print it twice also. Now we'll see how we are able to run it. I'm trying to run it in online. ShallowCopy is not. Oh, so I not. It should be DeepCopy, right? The class name. Okay, what we are trying to see here. OPJ7, OPJ7. This is OPJ7. Content, the address should be the same because we will not allocate new memory if it is already there. Okay, here memory is already allocated, so 380 and it is referring to 30. Okay. Here, this is object for content. Then here this address is after assigning. Okay. We will take this way. OPJ7, OPJ7, OPJ4 to OPJ7. So after copying, I'm trying to print the content. So 10, 20 and the new memory is allocated and the value 30 is assigned. Then I'm calling set data where I'm trying to change the content. And then after changing, I'm trying to print the content of OPJ4. So 10, 20, 30 and then I'm trying to print the content of OPJ7 which will become 11, 21 and 31. Okay. I took so long to cover these two topics, small topics. If you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel and share it to your friends who are in the learning phase of C++. If you want me to cover any special topic, please uh, post it in the comment. Give me your suggestion. I will try to change the video content or I will take your opinion on my next video. So my next video will be on what are the problems happening in the shallow copy, that is double free. How can we avoid the double free problem? Those things will be covered in a next session. Thank you for watching this video.